Good morning. It is Monday, April 10th, and I'm going to be doing a drive to my company's office from northeast Minneapolis here to Edina, Minnesota. So I've done part of this route already with 11.3.6. So the first part of this will be kind of a repeat from what we've seen already. Part of it will be slightly different, but it's pretty much the same route in the first half. The reason why I want to retest the first half of this route, I noticed a regression coming off of Dowling Avenue North in North Minneapolis when we got onto I-94 East. That was kind of surprising based on the behavior I've seen with all the other 11.3 builds so far. So we're going to go back and test that section again and then just kind of see what the behavior is. So we continue to do a fantastic job with this unprotected left turn. I'm happy, but I'm also sad they're going to be tearing up this road here soon. So we'll lose our problem area up here on a central, as we cross central on 37th here. But continue to do a good job there with that UPL. As far as this intersection up here, you'll see the car will try to pick the right turn only lane again, and I'm going to swing it over here and see if it figures itself out. It's daylight now. Yeah, it looks like it's not going to make the correction there. So car tries to go straight through the right turn only lane. So unfortunately, by the time they probably fix the map data for that section there, they're going to have this road torn up. So the map data is correct right now. They're going to be expanding this part here. So this will actually be 3 lanes from where we sit now. There'll be a left turn only lane, a middle lane that goes straight, and then a right lane that goes right. So it's going to be much better once it's redone. That UPL back there, though, is going to be a little trickier as they're adding a median to it. So it's going to become more like Chuck's left turn once they get to that point. So you can see the car wants to get over, like it thinks it has to be over in the right lane still, which is wrong. So gonna change that or report that behavior there. But that's been there for all the builds except for 10.69.1 through 3.3. Those are the only builds that ever got that area right. And I'm not sure what changed in the code to result in that, but those were the only ones. And it was sure a bummer to see 10.69.25 come out and then have the same behavior, same problematic behavior as the previous builds. So, and then as far as the nav goes here, we're going to be changing the waypoints here. This is just to follow the route that I've always done to my company's office here. All right, you'll see the countdown of as soon as it hit 0 there, it was going. That was fantastic. So that stop behavior there was pretty good. Didn't wait more than it had to. It's this one up here where I always get frustrated, but it seems to be a visibility thing. But I'm never sure what it thinks it sees or it needs to see before it can, go. And I would love for them to kind of remove some of the excessive hesitation at this intersection here. So this is the intersection of 37th Avenue Northeast and 5th Street Northeast. I think it's the post on the right that's partially occluded. All right, this guy is kind of like wondering what the heck we're doing here. So I'm applying a little bit of throttle input so we don't go back and forth with that guy. But again, you can kind of see the behavior, even with the visibility issue there. We had right away. We were the first to the intersection. We need to go. And if you can't see the cars at the you could see every stopping point in the intersection from that vantage point where we were turning from. Yet the car thinks it can't for some reason, and it doesn't trust it, so it overly hesitates. And I would love to see Tesla take all the inputs that I've done at that intersection and, retrain off that intersection or whatever to make it more confident there, because there's very rarely traffic approaching from the left or right. It's usually coming head on. So if you don't see cars there, you're pretty much good to go. So I know you got to pause for the 1 second. I'm fine with that, but as soon as we remove that pause, after that pause is done, we need to unsec here. I have to change the nav. I'm going to try to get it to go straight here if it tries to fight me here. Great. And that should take us the rest of the way now to the company's office. But once we commit, we got to go at that intersection, and we still wait too long there. All right, so we got a motorcycle coming up on us here on our left here. All right, and we're just waiting too long here. You can see the cautious behavior there. It treated that motorcycle as a bicyclist, which it obviously was not. So, but again, I'm fine with that behavior. If that person was turning left, though, which would have crossed our trajectory, it would have caused a little bit of frustration because again, we were first to the intersection. So there needs to be some focus. You know, I know NHTSA is trying to make things safer, and I'm putting that in quotes, trying to give them the benefit of the doubt here, but there needs to be some sort of compromise when it comes to right-of-way, because the way the behavior sits today at stop signs, we seem to give up right-of-way way too much and confuse, you know, drivers around us. So this mapping bug is still there. The car thinks it wants to get over to the left. This is a 2-lane road here. We would most definitely not want to do that, but the car never tries to get over. It just signals as if it would, and then it turns itself off. Never been able to figure out why it does that. It's been there for pretty much, it's actually been there throughout all the 10.x builds as well as the 11 builds, so we'll have to see if there's some big potholes still up here. My bet says yes, but if they patch them, I'm going to be really happy. So let's kind of see here and find out. So there's some smaller ones on the right. Let's see if the big one's still here. See one there. Oh, yeah, it's still there. Yeah, there's some big nasty potholes on this road still, unfortunately. So it looks like they haven't patched them in yet. You can kind of see them on the right here. You definitely don't want to hit those with your car. So avoiding potholes. Obviously not the car's fault based upon its current functionality. It's just our roads are terrible here in Minneapolis. So this is unfortunately what we have to work with in some cases. So we're going to have one more section of bad roads up here that I may have to disengage on. There's actually one right past this intersection. So as soon as we get across this intersection, I'm going to re-engage FSD and then, you know, let it drive from there on out. It's just this one in here across this intersection is pretty big and nasty. So all right, so green light here. I'm just going to get over this big nasty bump, and then we'll re-engage here. All right. Good job handling that car back there. The car didn't jam on the brakes for no reason. They were swerving around. Looks like one of the remaining snowbanks here. It'll hopefully be gone later today. Spring is finally here in Minnesota, so I'm really, really happy to see all this snow finally go. It's been a long winter. Good job carrying speed through this really tight section here and doing a great job staying to the right and then the left as soon as we come around that corner. Very, very good behavior. All right, so we'll be clear after this Explorer goes here. Looks like we're going to creep a little more. We have some signs to our left there, unfortunately, that kind of get in our way. See some really rough section of road there. It is a very, very abusive section, but great job with that unprotected left turn again. I would love to see us creep a little more from the initial stopping point, because the pillars should have visibility, but I understand the car wants to kind of get around the sign. The only issue with that behavior is it puts us in the lane of traffic. So, but as it creeps forward, it should, you know, obviously before it does that, it will see if there's any traffic to our left already, and so I'm guessing it's maybe for seeing to the right. I'm not 100% sure because I can't see the pillar camera data and what the system's intention is there, but that would be my guess. So, but otherwise, very good behavior there. It's been doing a good job with version 11 so far at that UPL. So, and then flashing yellow turn signal here. The car will pause to complete stop here, as you'll see here, and then we do have a car coming here, so we got to go. And very good. No throttle inputs required there. That was awesome. So I'm fine with it coming to a complete stop at those. It's just got to be predictable and smooth, which it was. So, and if we had hesitated anymore, I would have gave it a little bit of throttle, but looks like we're going to have an upright left turn here onto Dowling. Great job with that. No hesitation, no choppiness in the throttle. So here's our tough section up here. Let's see how the car performs here as we make this right turn onto the I-94 on-ramp. So this is a problem on my last drive the other day. So it looks like we're kind of, maybe because of the shadows there, we're swerving around that section there. Very aggressive on the throttle there, but honestly, that was pretty good. Maybe a little bit more throttle than I would have applied, but I really appreciate the assertiveness there. The car did a fantastic job of making that turn, not seesawing on the wheel and going straight for that yellow line on the left there, which is exactly what we want to do and have to do to make the on-ramp. Otherwise, we can only get on the HOV lane, which technically would not be legal. So great maneuver there. I'm glad to see that isn't a regression, so it might have just been an anomaly. You know, I know with neural nets, they're not 100% all the time, you know, give you the same result every single time, but they're going to be close. So I'm glad to see that it wasn't a permanent regression there, and that was just maybe a one-off in my last drive. So good so far there. So the one regression I really noticed in 11.3.6 isn't actually a regression after all, from what I can tell. So good stuff. So now we're going to be on I-94 for a little bit here. We'll eventually get on to 394 West, and then hop over to MN100 South, and that should take us the rest of the way to the office. Again, fantastic job. I just want to say, going through that right turn there and just decelerating into it. Very, very human-like. Version 11 continues to do a fantastic job of slowly decelerating, but not too slowly. Because before it was very robotic, and it would do big chunks of speed at once. It would be very abrupt for anybody that was on board and surrounding traffic. But you can see now it brakes a little bit later, but it uses regen. So again, it's very gradual in how it slows down there, while not waiting to the last second to do so, or doing it too early, which is fantastic. Alright, so coming up here, we'll be hopping on to Highway 100 South, and this is a very tight cloverleaf here, getting on and off of it, so FSD has historically struggled. I've never been able to get any FSD build or any of the previous autopilot code to take this cloverleaf here. So let's see what it does here with 11.3.6, but yeah, it's going to fail again here, so I'm going to take over. Car too slow to move over to join cloverleaf onto Highway 100 South. So again, the car needs to signal and slow down sooner if it's going to ever have a chance of making that. I know those are really tough and poorly designed, in my opinion. Unfortunately, we have a lot of them here in the Twin Cities. So it's something, if we're going to have zero disengagement drives, especially on this loop here, we're going to either need to start slowing down. I think slowing down sooner is required. Using signal before we start slowing down and keeping that on would be helpful, showing our intent. And then as soon as that solid white line disappears and then it goes to dotted, we need to get over. Be ready to move. We cannot wait a second after. We have to move as soon as it goes away, and then we should be able to get over. And it's got to be an assertive input on the steering too to do that. So maybe that's not there quite yet because the system doesn't operate at that latency that it would need to pull off that maneuver safely, but it's still one of the limitations, unfortunately. But that's nothing new to version 11 in single stack. So another limitation I'll just call out there that has been well documented at this point, but the car will not use signals when getting on the highway. So as you see back there, It will follow the merge line, which oftentimes is perfectly fine, but it's not what a human would do. A human would be signaling and merging over sooner than the merge line in a lot of cases. It depends on traffic too, and heavier traffic. That's kind of where that behavior doesn't work out so well, which I know many folks have documented. So just a limitation today. I expect that behavior to get fixed or adjusted at some point in 11.4, 11.5. To get us out of the passing lane here, I'm moving the car over to the right by just initiating a turn signal there. That's one of the limitations of the assertive FSD profile right now. The car will stay in the left lane no matter what, while average and chill will get over. But I do like the behavior elsewhere with assertive. That's kind of why I stay on it. So it's one limitation right now, but it's an easy enough fix as long as you're watching your mirrors, so you don't camp in the left lane. But alright, so we're just exiting Highway 100 South now, and we'll be turning on to Edina Industrial Boulevard here in just a second. What I'm looking for here is just the rate of deceleration, path planning. This has been a pretty strong area for version 11 so far, and a big improvement over the version 10 code, especially with our path planning towards the end of these curves here. We would also slow down too early back there, which is it got really annoying for following traffic. So, all right, so we're gonna have to creep out to get around this car to our left here, and it is clear to go, and we are going. Fantastic behavior. That's textbook right there. That's the best I've ever seen it do there, honestly. And so this build has demonstrated, honestly, a lot of good behavior so far. It's definitely, I think, a little better than 11.3.4 from what I can see, based on my recent drives. Now, this area has been a problem area for version 11 for whatever reason. It will hesitate a little too much turning into my company's parking lot here. You can kind of see what it's doing here. It thinks it's basically we're here, I think, is the problem. So I'm going to just take over here and just finish the turn. Actually, look at it. It's going to do it. So I'm just giving a little throttle input here, but that was even there in some of the 10 builds, so I don't really think that's a great regression. But overall, honestly, a pretty darn smooth drive. We had some potholes at the beginning. Our favorite intersection still caused us a disengagement there. And then the tight clover leaf entering that was also a disengagement. But otherwise, very, very smooth, confident behavior from version 11.3.6 so far. Really liking what I've seen. This is, yeah, another pretty solid drive. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.